Hi guys, welcome to Salted Conversations. My name is Michelle. Today's focus is where it all started. Najua kuna wengine wenyu mnangojea brief history of when I was 6 years old. The calling of God was upon my life. Aki, it is not that story. Today we are focusing on the history of salt, where salt was first mentioned in the Bible. Genesis 14 verse 3, it says, all these latter kings joined forces in the valley of Siddim, the Salt Sea, also known as the Dead Sea. This was written during the time of Abraham and Lot. Who was Abraham? Tunajua story ya Abraham. Abraham was a man was called by God and told to leave his land, his father's land, and go to a land that God will show him. Fun fact, Terah, his father, had started the journey, but he stopped at Haran. So Abraham took his nephew Lot and started the journey. And it reached a place where Abraham and Lot walikuwa na possessions, walikuwa loaded, tuseme hivyo, walikuwa loaded. And so Lot akaambia Abraham, it is me, it's not you, it is me. Na hapa tu tunagongana, our herdsman wanagongana, so wacha mimi niende hii side, uende hii side. So Abraham akamwambia, ina shida, mimi nitaenda ile side utachagua, mimi nitaenda the opposite direction. And so Lot decided, aliangalia wale watu, the grass is greener on the other side, aliangalia the greener side which was near Sodom na akaenda. And Abraham took the opposite turn. And so now Lot akajipata within Sodom. So this Genesis 14 verse 3 is written during a time where 5 kings of Sodom were fighting against another 4 kings who had ruled over them for 12 years. Walikuwa wamechoka. Akasema hapana, it is time for us to show that we have the power. And so they met in this valley of Siddim, known as the Salt Sea, to strategize. So tulisema valley of Siddim, Salt Sea, is the Dead Sea. So fun fact about the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea feeds from a water source, a fresh water source, the River Jordan. The Dead Sea is said to be 34.2% salty, which is 9.6 times saltier than the ocean. Wale watu wa lazima understand. Yes. And then nothing can survive there, hence the name, the Dead Sea. Then, lastly, the waters are rich in minerals. So in as much as it's dead, it is rich in minerals. Vile tulianza tulisema nini? Matthew chapter 5 verse 13. We are called to be what? For the people at the back, the salt of the earth. We are called to be the salt of the earth. But here, the first representation of salt in the Bible is the Dead Sea. Guys, we need to stop being dead, the Dead Sea. Why? We are feeding from fresh water, but not having an outlet. There are many properties of salt, but today I'll focus on one. The one we mentioned first, bringing flavor to food. Nakumbuka tu kuimagine, vile tulikuwa tuna imagine. Umekuja, umepata food, uko ready to kukula, lakini your food haina salt. Okay? And unajua vile tu libo, like your story libo too, because hakuna food, hakuna salt kwa food. All this to say, I'm asking of us, my challenge today, let us have an outlet. If the Dead Sea had an outlet, which is being, as we are called to be the salt of the earth, which is bringing flavor, my challenge for us today is let us bring flavor in our day-to-day lives. Bringing flavor, the way I say it, can look like anything. It can look like saying hi to that friend, that stranger. Nitashinda nimeinsist hiyo. because there are people who want to be seen, and maybe just that high can make a difference in their lives. It can look like anything, but my challenge to us is just to be the salt. Let us stop being dead. Let us stop being dead, because if the Dead Sea had an outlet, it would not have that name. I hope you have been blessed. See you next week as we see the second representation of salt in the Bible. Have a nice week.